ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Classic Wrestling Series, Season 2, Episode 21, I believe. But, here's the big thing, ladies and gentlemen. September 19th, 2018 is when I first started, is where I first uploaded the first episode of the Classic Wrestling Series. So, September 19th is going to be our anniversary of the show, naturally. And, well, we're coming up on 5 years of the CWS, which is absolutely insane. Like, it's really weird to think that I've been doing this for 5 years now, on and off. But I wouldn't have it any other way. It's awesome. It's absolutely great. Now, will we have a special episode for the 5-year anniversary? I don't know. We'll find out. If anyone wants to put any ideas, please put them in the comment section below. And leading up to September 19th, I will have a look at them. But, like I say, we are here for a special episode. And you know what? I want to celebrate. I've been watching a lot of old school wrestling. So, why don't we have a look at a WCW Monday Nitro episode from 1998, but more specifically from September 14th, 1998. I don't think anything big is going to happen on this show, will it? Let's find out. Let's watch our first matchup. So, our first matchup is Alex Wright versus Van Hammer. This is a interestingly fun matchup. I'm not gonna lie, Alex Wright is very entertaining, very quick, very well done. And Van Hammer is okay as well. He is good in the ring, I'm not gonna lie. Entertaining, well done. Ernest Miller comes in, costs, I believe it's Alex Wright the match, and then gets arrested. But for what we had, it was a fun, interesting opening contest. And then Bret Hart comes out and basically relinquishes the United States Championship, the WCW US belt. So, last night at Fall Brawl, we had the 3-on-3-on-3 War Games match, which is, to some traditionalists and fans, this is the worst of the War Games matches, bar Russo's Revenge in 2000. So, Bret Hart gets hit in the knee and is unfortunately incapacitated and cannot wrestle anymore. For the foreseeable future, he's injured with a knee injury, so he has to relinquish the belt. Roddy Piper comes out and basically gives him a prep talk. Basically says that these people can basically forgive Bill Clinton. Oh my god, the boos in that moment. They can forgive Bret Hart. And this leads into Bret basically just getting knee surgery, coming back and basically kicking ass. So, our next matchup is, I believe, give me just a second. I just have to scroll through very quickly. Oh, not our next matchup. Well, yes, it is, actually. So, our next matchup was Perry Saturn versus Rick But I can't even remember his name. Jesus. I just watched the bleeding match. Give me a minute. I literally just watched the match. What the hell? Why can I not remember his name? He faced somebody. I don't know who he faced. Give me a second. I'm very sorry. Oh, Kendall Windham. That's who he faced. I completely forgot he faced Windham. What the actual Flip Gordon? It was okay. I mean, it's Saturn, so obviously Saturn versus Raven happened. If Raven wins, the Flood stays. If Perry Saturn wins, the Flood is basically disbanded. This is a fun matchup, entertaining, quick, to the point, and yeah, Saturn wins. Flood come out to basically try to attack Saturn, but he basically gives everyone a prep talk. We are going to be seeing Billy Kidman later on tonight, taking on Juventud Guerrera for the Cruiserweight title. Raven is in the crowd with one of his disciples, basically saying that they need to come back to him. They basically tell him to go fuck himself, and they walk out. At Fall Brawl last night, Perry Saturn versus Raven, a lot of people got involved. Kidman turned on Raven, hitting a drop kick on him. Chris Kanyon tried to get involved, got involved, hit a flatliner on him, on Saturn, couldn't get the pin. So it was interesting going forward, seeing the Flock be disbanded because of Saturn. Very entertaining. So, let's not waste any more time. Our next matchup is Oh Boy, Brian Adams versus Renegade. Let's watch this. So we just had Brian Adams versus the Renegade. This was okay. Not bad, but not good either. This was your sort of rolled in the middle show, paper match. It was okay. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was just okay. It was entertaining. Brian Adams gets the win with the reverse power slam, but it was all entertaining. It was really good. So, oh no, and here comes the music. It's time for the obligatory fucking Hogan promo. Hooray! Let's do this. So we've got the obligatory Hulk Hogan promo. Yeah! I hate Hogan. Do not like Hogan in the NWO. I think I've just heard the NWO theme too many times and it's just, bleh, it's annoying. Anyway, getting back to this. Hogan talks about Bret Hart and Piper being sissies, fuck off, and basically says they need to go to the porch and basically not wrestle. And then talks about cowards and they talk about Warrior. Basically says Warrior is not brave enough, he's not man enough, he cannot lace my boots. Smoke fills the arena and basically we have Hogan turn around and go, where is he? What? Where's the disciple? Warrior! And just shouts at the camera. It is absolutely fucking funny as shit. It's supposed to be a serious moment, but it's funny as fuck. So, second hour of Nitro starts, and we're going to be kicking it off with Billy Kidman versus Juventud Guerrera for the WCW Cruiserweight title. Let's do this. Okay, so we just had a bit of a shocker. Jackie Chan of all people showed up to put Rush Hour, his new movie. What the fuck? Okay, that's new. And then we get a bit of a behind the scenes when we get told that Eddie doesn't want to work the show tonight, so he's basically being packed up and shipped off to Japan. Bischoff's words, not mine. Basically, Eddie was working, going to work a tour in Japan. I believe it was for the Super Juniors Cup. I believe at that time, I could be wrong, but they needed a reason to basically tell people that Eddie was not going to be on Nitro for a little bit. So this is where this story goes on. Not having Eddie on the show is a bit of a bummer. I do enjoy Eddie Guerrero matches, but to explain it like that was fine. Wording could have been a little bit different, but it's one of those things. So now we have, oh my god, we've got men versus the British Bulldog. This is going to be entertaining. So it was Barbarian versus British Bulldog, not men. Do apologize about that. It's same music to a degree. So Barbarian versus British Bulldog. This is okay. It's fun. It's entertaining it's entertaining. It's fun. It's, British Bulldog gets the win with a power slam. Always entertaining. But I've just got a funny feeling that something's going to be happening tonight, and I don't know why. Something big's happening. Well, it could be nothing. Well, let's get to our next segment and our next matchup. So we get J.J. Dillon coming up, and basically, Gene Okerlund turns around and goes, "You're oddly dressed for a show in South Carolina." J.J. brushes it off. What the hell's going on? I've got no fucking clue. And then basically talks about Steiner versus Steiner that happened at Fall Brawl last night. The match did technically start, but Rick and Scott and Babwell attacked Rick after the match. The match ended in a injury, but it turned out to just be a ruse. So, Halloween Havoc, the next pay-per-view, we are going to be getting Scott Steiner versus Rick Steiner in that match. Are we going to get it? We've been waiting a month, and then all of a sudden we heard laughter from the arena, whatever that is. Nitro Girls, because we need, there's been a couple of Nitro Girls segments, but, we need more Nitro Girls. We've got all this money, as they say. But it's entertaining, it's the Nitro Girls, they're dancing. We then get to see a WCW Nitro Party, which is entertaining. I didn't even know they were still doing them in 1998. And we now have Jim the Anvil Neidhart versus... No, wait, we don't! This one's going to be entertaining. Oh, that's why it was a big deal. Warrior! Duh, Warrior's here. But that's why this show is so important. Anyway, so Ultimate Warrior comes up with the Disciple. It was supposed to be Jim the Anvil Neidhart versus the Disciple, but we don't get that match. Instead, we get a Warrior promo, basically talking about how he's going to challenge Hulk Hogan at Halloween Havoc. Oh my, that match is bad. That match is really bad, if I recall. I think I've actually done it. Give me a minute. I think I have done Halloween Havoc 1998. Give me a second. In fact, I will look at it at the break. So we basically get, Warrior calls him out and all that jazz. It's kind of okay. Warrior isn't the best talker, but, it's one of those things. He is the one Warrior Nation after all, and somehow he has a disciple. So it's the two-man Warrior? Whatever. So, yeah, it's one of those things. We don't get a match, but we do get an entertaining thing. So, let's get to our next matchup and segment. So, our next matchup is Silver King and Norman Smiley versus Scott Steiner. And Silver King and Norman Smiley... yeah, they didn't win. They got brutalized and they got in the Steiner recliner and Steiner won. Yeah, I had you go in there for a second, didn't I? No, of course not. Scott Steiner wins. Quick, straight to the point. It's one of those matches. So, yeah, so far, this show hasn't felt big. Well, it felt big because of the Warrior return, obviously, but I feel like there's still something missing. I don't know. We'll find out. So, let's not waste any more time. Get to our next stuff. So we have our next matchup, which is Scott Hall versus Lex Luger. I don't really want to talk about this one because it was a no contest. This was when Scott Hall was at his lowest point, and it's not nice. It really isn't nice. So the match doesn't really get started. The NWO come out, they basically turn around and they say, do not do this, blah, blah, blah. Scott Hall pukes. This was real. Like, if this was faked, I'll be amazed. It's a shocker that Scott Hall can act drunk, but I don't want to talk about it nicely. This was a low point. I really don't. Again, the match doesn't happen. So let's get to our semi segment, semi main event segment, and then let's get to our main event. So let's do that. Okay. There's another reason why I wanted to do this show, ladies and gentlemen. It is the return of the Four Horsemen, but more importantly, this is the return of Ric Flair. So, just to give you guys a little bit of backstory, Ric Flair was supposed to be scheduled for an appearance with WCW. However, it conflicted with one of his son's wrestling matches. So, Flair went to his son's wrestling matches. I believe it was Reed Flair, could be wrong, and showed support for his family. That suffered a lot of different annoyances with WCW, and there was a lot of legal terms. So to bring the story into it, the Four Horsemen were disbanded at that time. Over the past few months, Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit would turn up and basically turn around to Arn and say, bring back the Four Horsemen. They've been doing it for a little bit as well. But Arn turned around and said no. He did go under the knife a little bit ago and basically was told that he can never wrestle again. So he lost the spark of being a Four Horseman. I cannot do this promo justice. There is no way on God's green earth I can do this promo justice. Link in the description. Please go and check this promo out. It is amazing. The pop that Arn Anderson gets, the pop that Dean Malenko gets, Chris Benoit gets, Mongo McMichael gets. And then when Flair comes out, when he is announced as the Fourth Horseman, the place goes fucking nuts. Again, link in the description. Go and check the promo out. It is one of, if not, in my opinion, Arn Anderson's best promos. Personally. So they come out, they basically say the Horsemen are going to be riding into the year 2000. They wouldn't do, but they would ride into 1999. Flair is pissed at Bischoff. Bischoff comes out. Again, I cannot do this promo justice. We're going to get to our main event in a minute, but I just wanted to do this for that epic promo. And it's one of the best promos WCW have done, in my opinion. Especially the Four Horsemen as well. The old stuff is fucking brilliant, but this is one of my favourites. Definitely in the top 3. So, let's get to our main event. It's Sting Goldberg for the belt. So, we just had Sting versus Goldberg for the WCW belt. This is good until Hogan gets involved. Kicks Sting in the face, then attacks Goldberg to cause a disqualification. Bret comes out, basically tries to attack Hogan, doesn't get him. This is okay. To a degree, he basically saves Sting and he saves Goldberg from being attacked, and we go off the air with the 3 guys celebrating. So, what did I think of this episode of Nitro? It's not bad. Do not get me wrong. The whole thing with, the tease of the Four Horsemen coming back is there. It's entertaining. At the beginning, it's the run-through story of it's the run-through story of the show. It's entertaining, but I would say just watch the promo and not watch this episode of Monday Nitro. I had an episode of CWS needed doing, so there we go. But the promo makes this episode. Like, a lot of people will forget this episode. There's not really much memorable, bar the Billy Kidman Juventud Guerrero match, which was a great match, and Kidman wins his first belt. That's really all that's there. It's entertaining, but I just say watch Billy Kidman versus Juventud Guerrero and the promo, which I'll have in the description below. So with that being said, thank you very much for watching this episode of the Classic Wrestling Series. I will catch you in 2 weeks' time for the next episode. I think we may have a bit of a horror show coming up in 2 weeks' time, but that's in 2 weeks' time. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching TTFN. Ta-ta. For now.